Hello everybody, Unknownloner here, and I'm gonna do kind of a bit of an actual tutorial on Dwarf Fortress. Now, first of all, the first thing you want to do is download Lazy Noob Pack, and you'll find if you just Google it, just Google Lazy Noob Pack, and noob is spelled N-E-W-B in this case. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit Create New World. Now, before you do this, actually, what you want to do is go in the Lazy Noob Pack. Let me bring this up real quick. You're going to want to first make sure that liquid depth is on. Also, make sure that do the Iron Hand graphics if you want it to look like what mine are. You can do the default, but it's kind of hard to understand. At least to me, it is. And shouldn't really have to change anything else. And you hit play Dwarf Fortress from here. You don't actually download Dwarf Fortress because this includes it. Alright, so then you're going to get this. You're going to hit escape to continue. And I do a small world just because it takes less time to create. Medium history will be 250 years. You can do 120. You can do shorter. Number of civilizations. You can leave this all here, and you'll be fine. Mineral current sparse, you'll still have plenty of minerals. Alright, and then hit Y. And you see here, it will create the world, and then it will give it some world history. Now, the farther it gets in the history, the slower it goes. And I'll give it a name. This one is called the Absolute Universe. Then we got 40 more years. Suppose you could stop it earlier based on these hotkeys that it shows on the screen. But 2 years is fine, doesn't take too long. There you go. And then you can look around it if you want, or you can do what I do and just hit enter to accept it. It'll save the world. Now you can hit start playing, and we're doing Dwarf Fortress. This is region 3 because it's my third one, Dwarf Fortress. And now you'll see this screen. Now what you have from right to left. Now right is the world map. Now each square represents a block of area, and that is shown in the middle. And then in the middle, wherever the highlighter is in the middle, it will display that on the left. Now you could just look around here, or you could do this. Hit F and go to these Savagery and Evil you can choose, but I did mine on low for the first time just so I could get my bearings. You've got elevation, temperature. You want flux stone, so hit that to yes. Don't do an aquifer because they're a pain when you're mining because there's water is spouting out while you're mining. Rivers, you want a river, otherwise you can't drink. Shallow metal. Yeah, have multiple and multiple, then some soil, otherwise you can't farm. And that should be good. Then hit enter. I'll start searching all the blocks. Now once it's done, it'll once it's done, it will kind of highlight areas, and I'm pretty sure that the highlight means areas that you could use, or it means that it's ones you shouldn't use. Because let's see. Yeah, okay, it means what the red markers, I'm pretty sure, are ones that are partial matches. but I'm not quite exact sure. Basically, if you just look around though, you'll see biome results. So just look around until you find one you like. Like this is deep metals and soil flexstone. Let's find one with higher metals too. Shallow metals, deep metal, flexstone, and soil. No trees, but let's see. Now you're gonna hit UMKH for the actual part of the area you're gonna want to play on. Now this probably isn't a good choice because there's no trees. So we're gonna search around here until we find one we like. So let's see. That actually looks pretty good. Let's see if we can find a part of this that has see, the part around the river has the aquifer, so that is a problem. Now the thing is that when you have something like that, let me see if I can find the area again. Alright, now when you have something like this where it has aquifer right here, if you say I have part of it, if you hit the function keys, I'm pretty sure you can see different biomes if you can find one. Yeah, see, here we go. Function 1, that'll show you one of the biomes. Function 2, that'll show you the other one. Now this actually looks like a good spot if we could get an area that didn't have water in it. You know what? Video editing. I'll be back when I find a good spot. Alright, so I found an area that does have an aquifer. I don't actually know if it'll be too much of a problem. There are ways to deal with water, but once you find an area, we hit UMHK to actually pick part of it. So now the default is a size of 4. I'm gonna set it to size of 5 just because I like a bigger area, and you do that with the capitals. But if you have a slower computer, you might not want to do that. Then you just hit E, and then hit enter. Now, you can play now, prepare carefully, or because you have the lazy new pack, you have these things. So, one nice thing is that a guy that does video tutorials, he's got a 2.5 hour long, I think, one for 2011. He has made one and included it in here. So, it's 2 miner, a mason, a woodcutter, carpenter, crafter, brewer, and hunter, which is actually pretty good. Hit enter, and it says was not completed. Don't worry about that. Just hit exit, and then hit tab, and then you should be good. Now, it says they're all peasants, but they will get labeled as their profession once you're in the game. Now, what you can do is you can hit C, and you can change their name. So, like, say I wanted to call this Unknownloner. We now have that guy as the thing. I don't know why the music is turning off unless I'm there. That's weird. It's there in the game. Alright, so then you can just name your guys, hit tab, go to items, and basically the problem was that it couldn't find lobsters, which it asked for some reason, but if you hit new, and then you hit, just type in lobster, you'll find it. Go hit the right button, accept, and add in 15. And you've got all these items here, and then you want to make sure that you've got an anvil, which it doesn't. We might. Now, plump pellets, that's actually your mushrooms. That's actually your main food, so you want that, and you want plump pellet spawn. Those are good. You also want alcohol for them, so they'll work better, and I'll get into brewing that later. But yeah, it actually seems we don't have an anvil, so I'm gonna hit new. Go down to this, perhaps. Not actually sure what category it would be in, to be honest. Metal bars? No? Anvil. Yeah, huh. Anyway, I think I actually might start with one. Whatever the case, you can hit Shift F to name your fortress. It will have one automatically, but you can choose one. Then you can also hit Escape and name your group. And then don't press E immediately, because it'll immediately embark you, unless you want to keep going. So then, if you hit E, it'll start your world. If it goes into this thing, don't worry. If it says not responding, don't worry about it. It's just generating. Hit enter. And here we go. Now, you start off with this kind of map. On the left, you have your actual world. On the middle, you have hotkeys. On the right, you have the mini-map. You can hit tab to change this. I like to keep it like this because I don't really need the map. So then here we are. Now, this can be pretty confusing for new people, but all your doors are around here. And first of all, you gotta learn about changing levels. You do it with the brackets key, and by brackets, it means like at least on Windows, if you have you see the period key, shift that is the right bracket, then shift comma is the left bracket. Now what you do with this is the right one will move you down into the world, the left one will move you up. And you can see at the bottom right corner what level you're on, because basically the entire game, it's a 2D representation of 3D. So you have a cross section of it, or cutout kind of. and you use the controls to go through the cutouts. Now you see these arrows on the sides, and then it gets to dim. Those are actually paths down. You see that arrows turn into up arrows, because basically that means dwarves can walk up that, down and up that slope. So then the first thing you want to do is, well, first thing I usually do is set designations for cutting wood. Now how you do that is you press D, you press T, make sure you have set chop down trees, and then you press enter once. Now use the arrow keys, select the second destination. It'll create a square or a rectangle, and your wood chopper will get to work cutting down any trees that were highlighted by that. Hit space to resume because it starts out paused. See the dwarf running around, and there goes the wood chopper. Chop, chop. Now, he's just leaving the wood on the ground. That's not too useful for you. So, to fix that, hit P button, and that will let you set stockpiles. So, for example, this is wood. You're going to hit the wood key, which is W. Enter once, just like we did the designations. This will appear, and basically doors will go over and take the wood to the stockpiles, so that you have it in one easy place. So then, while he's chopping down trees, it's good to start your fortress in an area that you can farm at, and what you need for that is soil. Now, soil is of course underground. So what you do is, alright, so here we have the soil, and you just go under it actually. Then you select an area to dig out. And your dwarf should, a minor dwarf, I did that wrong. What you do is you select an area to dig out. What you do is, after going to designations, you hit D for mine, and then you select an area, and your miner dwarf will get onto that. Now, to remove a designation, you're gonna X, then just do it the way it was, and it'll remove any blocks of designation in that area. Now, I'm pretty sure that oh, I did it wrong. My bad. DX. Right, so they can't actually get to that, which is why nothing was happening. Now, this appears to be a mount. So, apparently that would be good. An easy way to do this would be, basically, I'm going to hit D and D again for mine, and select this. Now this will create a little tunnel into the mountain. And once you're here, once you got that, on this part, which is a wall, what you're going to do is hit D for designations, and actually you're going to go to I for up down stairway. Not up stairway or down stairway, up down. That way they can go up and down that stairway. Hit that. And if I actually, oh right. Whoops. Up down the stairway. And now, doors go over and create a stairway. Now go down a level with your brackets key and create another one. And now you have that. Now, to get under the soil, we're going to dig out, we want to dig out to under here, because this is under the soil. And it's a good place to start the fortress. Now then, what you do is you're going to create a designation with your energies, drag down over here, then drag over here. You have to make sure that everything's connected, otherwise the doors won't be able to reach it, and nothing will happen. So then you should see a dwarf come down here, and he's going to start digging out the dirt. After you give him a sec to do this, not really sure what's going on there, but they do take breaks for sleep and stuff like that. Now you see over here kind of how the ground randomly turning blue. That's because it's raining. That indicates rain. Now both miners are going to start working on this room. See a little cat coming down there. Now this gray area is pretty much nothingness, as far as I remember. I'm going to hit tab and find the map. And not really sure where the river is actually. It's up here, so it's not really a mountain, it's just that we started really low down. Well, that's alright. Alright, so we have this room almost cleared out. Meanwhile, our wood chopper seems to be done, so let's give him some more stuff to do. Select a big area this time. Let's actually go up some levels. I'm not actually sure if they can get up there. Select 0. Oh yeah, if you hold shift, the cursor will move around much quicker. Alright, so now we have that area. Wood chopper will actually be doing something. Now if you see the 7 that's actually water, that indicates the water level. 7 is the highest, and doors can get out of that. Now, you have this cleared out room, right? What you want to do is, to create farmlands, press B, press P, and then you're actually going to use U and M for the height, K and H for the width, and then just select an area, hit enter, and your farmer dwarf should come down here. Don't forget to hit escape. And yep, guy will come down here, and you can only make these on soil or mud. Now the way you get mud is, say you have some stone, if you flood the room with water, and then get rid of the water by letting it evaporate, which it can only evaporate if it's at level 1, then it'll create mud. So then this guy's created the farmland. Now he's gonna actually start growing stuff, but first you have to set it for him to grow. Now what you do is you press Q. Then you move your cursor over the plot, and we want to for now we want to grow plum helmets year round. So you see with A, B, C, and D, we can switch to each season. So now we go to A, go down to plum helmets with the plus key. B, go down to plum helmets with the plus key, and press enter. C, go down, press enter, and D, go down, press enter. And now year round, the farmer should farm here, and here he comes with the seed right now. So he's going to plant it, and then after a couple seconds it'll actually be done. Now while we're doing this, why don't we clear out an area for the doors to actually do stuff in? That would be good, right? So then we're going to create some hallways here. With our mining designation. Now this is just a small little fort area, and the mining door should get to mining this. Now if you see over here, if you press K, you can move over blocks to what they are, and you see and you see that this part that the cursor's on, well, it was on, that part anyway, is actually tilled farmland. Now, you see right here, he's struck stone, this dwarf, and he's leaving it on the ground. Now, that won't actually affect you too much, because basically, if you set to build something there, they'll move the stone out of the way and then build. But when you have a crafting area, you do kind of want to create a stone stockpile just for when you're making stone stuff, because then you can actually have access to it easier. Of course, anytime it's filled up, stone won't be carried there, because stockpiles, that's how they act. So once we get this area dug out, it should be good. Now dwarves can't actually move diagonally, it appears. Alright, so now we have that area. We're going to create a room. And this is going to be a dormitory. So use mining. And we're going to create a little path now. You select down there. Select up here. And the mining door should come and dig it out. Now you can't have a bedroom without beds, so we're going to create a crafting room. Then I'm going to show you how to create a crafting workshop. Line this area out. Here we go. Let's see how long I've been recording for. It appears 26 minutes, that's okay. Alright, so now our bedroom's dug out, and next comes our crafting room, and then right between them we're going to put our dining room. Now while we're here, I'm going to show you something. When people get done with eating something, it might drop a seed. Now if you want them to actually carry that to the plot area, hit P, and hit F for food. And you're going to select an area like that. But here's the that should be this should be good. Now the thing is, you don't want them to carry all the food here, so you're gonna hit Q, go over it, and hit S. Now if you go down to food with the arrow keys, go over and basically hit F for forbid on everything except for seeds. There you have it. Go to the other one because I accidentally created two. And we're going to forbid again. We're going to forbid everything except for seeds. And now any seeds should be brought to here. But, and here they come with it actually, but anything else shouldn't be. Now, how's the workshop room going? Seems pretty good. You notice that they're actually digging slower because it's harder material to go through than just dirt. But you get stone for it. Now, actually, what is that? It's rock salt. Yeah, while we're at it, let me show you something. This will show you your dwarves and pretty much all the units on the map. And if you want to set something to do a certain job when you're not for that job, hit C, hit P, then you hit L. Now you go through plus and minus keys, and when you go to areas, you can toggle them on and off. So if you want one guy only to do hauling things, then you can toggle off everything except that. If you want them only to do crafting and nothing else, you can toggle off everything except crafting, that sort of thing. Now here we have our crafting room almost done. Now these stones, say we want to get some of them out of the way. What you want to do is you want to hit I, and rather than stockpiling them, we want them all to just go into one area. So we're gonna I, then select something like, I don't know, this corner down here, and hit enter, then hit enter again. Now when you hover over it, you press G to set it to garbage dump. Now basically what that means is that people will dump anything marked as garbage there. The downside is that they won't automatically pull from it when you're building something. So that's the downside to using garbage dump. But the upside is that you can store everything in one place, and I'm pretty sure you can unmark things as garbage. So then what you do after this is D and B, and then DBD to dump items. Then you select an area, and then doors will come over, and the ones that to be dumped will be highlighted in purple. Doors will come over and move them all down to the dump pile. Now, what is that actually? Let me just make sure of something. Anyway, you see here that it's getting kind of cleaned up. Might take a little bit of time. And other doors will come to help. Now, while we're here, I'm going to show you how to make a workshop. Press V for build, and you press W, and then you have different workshop types. What we want is to make some beds. So we're going to want a carpenter workshop, so we press C, and just plop it down. And you can choose what to make it out of. It doesn't really matter, but more expensive materials are add more worth. And I think we're gonna make it out of pine logs. Actually, no, rock salt because it's closer. So then you select it. Now something else that we want while we're here is a craft door shop. So we press R and put that right next to it. Make that out of rock salt again. There we go. Then some people should come and start to build it. Now also what we want is, of course, dining room to eat in. Now we're going to hollow out that area for dining room. Then we're going to also hollow out a second area for cooking. That ought to be good. There we go. And now our miner should get right to work. Is this built? Yes, it's built. So now once it's built, what you do is you're going to hit Q, then hover over it and hit A. Now what we want is some beds. So you can either scroll down, or you see the hotkey is B. Press B. Do that a couple of times for some beds. Now we should be good. Now we also want some tables and chairs for the dining room. So A and T should make a table. A and C, A and C. And let's remove some of these with C. And our door should get right to work with it. Our wooden working door. Ah, here we go. We're getting some corpses here. Some rats. Now, those will start to stink up the area if you don't put a place outside to get rid of them. So what you want to do for this is hit P, and then R. This is refuse. And basically any corpse remains, stuff like that, will be dragged out to there. Now it's actually a dwarf corpse. It won't. They won't drag that. You have to create a specific corpses thing for that. But you usually want to bury them. Otherwise, their ghosts might come back and start haunting your people. So now we see our craft dwarf over here is actually working. That's good. The farmer's farming. what we want to do is we want to stockpile these things that we're making inside instead of outside. So I'm going to create a little area for that, for furniture. And I'm going to stick it right here for now. And then we also, I'm going to put the wood stockpile in here. That way you can get to it better. And we'll also put a stone stockpile in. That should be good. Now we'll come up here, for them to take it out. What we need to do is hit Q. Well, no, we want to hit P and X, and just remove the destination where you placed it. There you go. Back when something interesting has happened. Oh yeah, one other thing before I go is you see the Z? That means the doors are sleeping. If they don't have a bed, they'll just sleep where they're standing. But it's not as good. Alright, so we have some beds here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to press B and bed, and then just place this in our room. B, bed, have another one. And the doors should come over and move the beds from our stockpile over here to the designated area. There we go. There's one. And once you have a bed, the way you mark it so that doors can actually use it is hit Q, hover over it, and hit R for make bedroom. Now the default size should be fine, hit enter, and now we want to make this a dormitory so that anybody can use it, so you're going to press D, and just hit done. So then the quick way to do this is hover over bed, R, enter D, escape. And it's done. While our craft dwarf is working furiously, let's make brewery, because dwarves need alcohol to work better. So then press B, W, and you are going to want a... Sorry, what is it? Ah, yes, a still, so L. Then go back into our kitchen over here and enter. Make this out of rock salt, and person should come over here. Now first, while we're doing this, we're going to need to make we're going to need some barrels. Now you could do stone pots with the craft workshop, or if you just have plenty of wood, you make barrels. Now I'm going to show you how to do both of those, depending on which one you want. So here we have this. To make barrel, you hit A and hit V. Now for the craft workshop, you're going to go over and hit A, G, and you have to actually go down with the plus button. Go to pot, but then it'll keep it highlighted so you can do a couple of those. Now, if you get actually a stonemason's shop, you can make stone doors and tables, so you don't have to use wood for that. Now we have 2 more beds and a table, so we're going to place them down real quick. Now I'm actually going to make a food stockpile over in the dining area, so that people can have easy access to food. So we're going to go to F, go over, we want that. Now we actually don't want seeds in this, so go over to Q, settings, food, and go down and forbid seeds. Now we also want to do the, we don't want a hog to, well actually, we're fine. Here we go. Now people should automatically store the food in the barrels later on. Alright, table, because we do have a table, so we're going to hit B, T, that's how you make a table, place it right here. Now once we get some chairs, we can actually set it up for eating. Now we do have a distillery available. Now what we want to do is we want to set it so that we have a brewer that only brews. That's all they do. So how do we do that? Now we don't want planter. We want we're gonna go for, well, we can't do it right now, but we'll just set it so that the planter will only brew and plant. So C, we're gonna go down and we're going to get rid of hauling. No more hauling. Now, farm related, brewing, farming, plant gathering. It's all well and good. And so now he'll only do that and hit add task and B. Do that a couple of times. And he should grab a barrel from this area and bring it over. Yeah, it needs an empty food storage thing, which is why he stopped at that. I'm pretty sure I do change that like this. Content store vanilla, so we already have some. Now, if we had an empty one, he would actually be able to make it. But anyway, this is the basics. I might make another video, but that's the basics for what you need to start up an area. One more thing before we go is chairs, B, C, and then this is chair throne. Throne is just what they call stone chairs. Now, once you have this kind of set up, making stuff, you're all set to go for a nice little fortress that you can survive in. If you get attacked, well, there are other guides on that, but that's just the basics of getting started, farming, and surviving in Dwarf Fortress. I hope it was useful, and this is Unknownloner, sign off.